Finance Minister Atishi presented the Aadmi Party government's budget for the financial year 2024-25 in Delhi Assembly with an outlay of 76,000 crores. The highlight of what Atishi called the Ram Rajya budget was the announcement of a scheme under which about 50 lakh women in Delhi above 18 years of age will be given rupees 1,000 monthly financial assistance. Earlier in the day, we met Atishi and asked her questions about the scheme and other things related to the budget. Here is what she said. Thank you, Atishi, for your time and congratulations for your budget, the first budget in fact.
Thank you.
And it has already made headlines, as you know. And my first question would be on the fact that you called it the Ram Rajya budget. Can you explain it for us?
So this time we did not just present the budget for the financial year 2024-25. We also presented a report card of the Arvind Kejriwal government of the last 9 years and of how Delhi has been transformed from 2014 to 2024. And what we have done in the last 9 years is basically to run a government that works in the interests of the last person. And that really is the conception of Ram Rajya. That no one should be poor, no one should be ill, everyone should be taken care of, every family should be prosperous. And that really is the intention that we have been working with now in the last 9 years.
Okay, so related question to this, your friends in the BJP say that you have borrowed this term for BJP.
See, the thing is, the BJP only thinks of Lord Ram at the time of elections, only because they want to ask for votes in his name, because in the 5 years in between, they do no work, they do no delivery. In fact, I would go as far as to say they don't follow the footsteps of Lord Ram, because in many ways the story of Ramayana, the idea of Ram Rajya, is one of good governance, of one of delivering for the poorest sections of society. And BJP has nothing to show on that count. So all they can do is at the end of 5 years, ask for votes in the name of Lord Ram, but for the 5 years in between the two elections, they have no intention whatsoever of following in his footsteps. So the thing is that the financial devolution of funds. So you have some funds that devolve from center to states, and then you have some funds that devolve from the state to the local bodies. Now what is a double whammy for Delhi is that the center does not devolve any funds to us, but we devolve funds to the MCD, right? Now all states get a share in their taxes. That the taxes that come, the income tax, etc., that gets deposited by the citizens of any state, all states get a share in that. Now we are not asking for 41% like other states get, because we do understand that Delhi, being this sort of metropolis, being this engine of economic growth, the money from Delhi also needs to go to other parts of the country. But give us something. For 15 years, they gave us 325 crores as our share in central taxes. Now they have stopped that also. They have removed that head from the budget whatsoever, and they are saying that Delhi does not deserve any share in central taxes. Why not? The people of Delhi work hard. The people of Delhi are not just an engine for Delhi's economy, they are an engine for the entire country's economy. So what are you doing? By not giving Delhi its fair share of taxes, you are almost killing the goose that lays the golden egg. And I think that that is something that definitely the new Finance Commission, we have written to the new Finance Commission as well. The Chief Minister, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, has written, our department has repeatedly written to the Finance Commission that Delhi needs to get its share in central taxes.
Okay, so day before yesterday in the budget, there was a very important thing that you announced, which is 1,000 rupees for women. There are around 60 lakh women voters.
Yes.
What is the rationale behind this?
So if you were to see Delhi government's policies in the last 9 years, a lot of them have been very women oriented in many ways. One, of course, are the direct benefits to women in terms of the free bus rides that we give women and the kind of increase in mobility they have given women. When this was first launched in 1920, I think every year about 19 crore women were traveling every year with that pink ticket. That number has now gone up to 40 crores per year. It means that the number of women who are stepping out of their homes and participating in the workforce or participating in some leisure activities or spending money in the economy has increased so much. But not just this, even in terms of the policy priorities of the government. The number of girls continues to be greater than boys in government schools. The patients in Mohalla clinics even today are 80% women. the women, the elderly going to Tirth Yatra, almost 90% of them are women. See, because when you give free services, that is the first time women actually begin to access services. Otherwise, women's needs and requirements are really put at the end of the line by families, by a society as a whole. But the thing is that real empowerment or real decision making power even within your household comes by having money in your pocket. See, the reality of Indian society is such that even till today, we might be living in the 21st century, but even for a small expenditure, there is some man or the other in her life whom the woman has to ask before she can spend that money. That could be her husband. If she's younger, then that could be her father. If she's elderly, then that could be her son. So what the Arvind Kejriwal government is saying, we are going to give that money directly in the woman's bank account. She can spend it as she wishes. She does not need to ask it. The sense of empowerment that this brings to women, I think, is unimaginable for people like us who are financially independent, who don't have to think about every penny that we have to spend, who are not shackled by someone else's permission. Number one. Number two, research has also shown that across the world, and this is not just in India, that when money goes into women's hands, it gets spent for the betterment of the family. So they are buying their children more nutritious food, they are spending on their children's education, books, and they are spending money maybe to repay debt, they are buying appliances to improve the quality of life of the household. So this money is all going back into the economy, right? This is bringing liquidity to the economy. This is really creating or spurring demand that can actually lead to economic growth.
Okay, so talking about this scheme, there's again that criticism coming from none other than friends. He calls these schemes like gravities. We know that there are Labharti schemes also in this round. So how do you manage the money for this scheme? As your budget say 2,000 crore in this crore, how do you manage the money? Where will the money come?
See, if you see Aam Aadmi Party's track record for 9 years, right? I told you we don't get any money from the center, right? We devolve money from our own revenue to MCD. Despite that, for the last 9 years, we have been giving free electricity, free water, free bus rides to women, high quality free education in schools, free high quality healthcare. We have been giving free Tirth Yatras to the elderly, and yet we are the only fiscally surplus government in the entire country. Why is that? One, because we have been over the years been able to increase our revenue because we are an honest government. Number two, we are an efficient government. See, governance is also a complex task. The fact that you have an IIT graduate as a chief minister means that our efficiency and our management and our governance skills are extremely good. We run an extremely efficient government. So similarly, just as we have been able to foot the bill for everything that we have done so far, we have the revenue, we have done all the calculations whereby the expenditure for this can be made.
Again, related question. This scheme is coming in election year, and you also have model code of conduct probably coming in few days. So how do you plan to?
So I think the scheme will only be notified after the Lok Sabha elections model code of conduct comes to an end, because there are still some formalities to be done. It will have to be brought before the cabinet and then only can the notification happen. So our assessment is that the notification will probably happen somewhere in June or July after the elections. And then there will be some amount of paperwork that women have to fill in their forms, given their Aadhaar card details, their bank account details. But we are hopeful that by October, the first installment of the 1,000 rupees should come into the women's bank accounts in Delhi.
Okay, one last question on the budget. Every year we expect something on air pollution, which is a big issue in Delhi. Your budget has some electric buses and other things. What is the government going to do?
So if you were to see, Delhi now has the third largest electric bus fleet in the world. As on today, we have 1,650 electric buses, and that number is just going to go up. I think the number by end of 2025, we will have the largest electric bus fleet in the world. So Delhi has really taken a step forward in terms of vehicular pollution, number one with buses. Number two, even with electric vehicles. I think now 12%, if not more, vehicles registered in December, January of 23-24, in Delhi were electric vehicles. This is the highest number across the country. In fact, Delhi's uptake of electric vehicles is being praised all over the world. We have now some of the best charging infrastructure. I think in every 1 kilometer, you see some kind of charging infrastructure that has been built by the Delhi government, built by the MCD, or with some private concessionaire in collaboration with these governments. So that really has been our big push. Of course, then there's also some short-term measures that have to be taken during the pollution time, which are all the smog guns, etc., to reduce pollution at the time when it peaks in October to January. Third, Delhi has been very effective actually in terms of increasing its green cover. Delhi is actually one of the greenest cities in the country. It has almost a 27% green cover, and that is something that has systematically increased over the last decade.
Okay, I'll end with this question. Is it an election budget?
देखिए, if you have good policies, why should people not vote for you? Right? The Aam Aadmi Party has always asked people to vote based on the work we have done. Arvind Kejriwal became Chief Minister in 2015. In 2020, when we went back for elections. In the history of Indian democracy, no politician has ever made the statement that he did. He said, अगर मैंने काम किया है तो मुझे वोट देना, अगर मैंने काम नहीं किया है तो मुझे वोट नहीं देना. I don't think any politician in Indian history has had the courage to say that. So yes, if we have delivered to the people of Delhi, why should we not ask for votes based on the work we have done?
Thank you so much, Atishi. Thank you so much. Pleasure talking to you.
So that was Atishi talking about her first budget and the fact that rupees 1000 per month scheme would not be rolled out anytime soon. For more such videos and interviews, keep watching Mint and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for now.